Yes, social media is very full of so many different types of influences. Um, and a lot of times we sit in agreement with those things or disagreement. Um, One in particular that goes around is like the memes that make comparisons about people. Real men are this, real women are that. The definition of what real is. Um, Based on like an ideal type of person in the relationship. But some people might not really take to what I gotta say, but there's no such thing as, one specific type of person, you know, that determines them as real or not, because everybody's real. We can be really loyal. There's people who can be really disloyal, really honest, really deceptive, really loving, really fickle, really hateful, really caring. Um, we can all really be whatever we want to be, so there's no limit or any type of justification of what is real, because everybody really does have their own will and ability to create and be who they want to be and affect or influence people in whatever way they feel, based on emotions or experiences. So, we tend to buy into these things and really put people down, based off of a certain type of, single mindset or consciousness that we feel is what we considered an approval of the ideal human being. But the reality is that everybody really does make mistakes. Everybody really does change. Everybody really does stay the same, for a duration of time until they change the way how they view things or experience life from a different perspective. So, we often shift between things. We're constantly growing, constantly changing. Some people that don't want to grow, don't want to change, still remain in that same, you know, um, consciousness, that same level of perspective, and that's totally up to them. And that doesn't make them any more or less real of a person, because we're all really here to experience the human conditions. So it's just the way how I see that. I don't really take into heart like, this is what makes a man real, or this is what makes a woman real because she, is all these, great qualities, but sometimes, yes, we are really fucked up. Even the most kindest people in the world, they could have stuff that they hide, and keep to themselves, the ways how they think, things they battle with, so we can't really judge anybody because we don't really know. On the outside things look good, but on the inside, we don't know for sure how people really are, how they're really dealing with life right now. So I think it's really important to always be mindful of the things that, you promote out there, and the way how you absorb information and relay it to other people out there. Because I think a lot of times people just want someone who understands. People are seeking the understanding of, not only who they are as a person through other people's eyes, but also where they fit into everything. And it's really hard and stressful for people to fit into a certain type of ideal form of acceptance. Everybody's seeking acceptance somewhere. And it doesn't seem fair, to some people, having to meet all these standards that seem almost impossible, for some people. So, yeah, I tend to have like a bit of a different perspective on all of that. And, I'm always mindful of stuff that I put up on social media. I try to be, sometimes I do, joke around and laugh about certain things, because, it's kind of crazy just, the psychology behind everything, um, and how certain things can influence our thinking and how some things really are true, but it's like, not really something that's set in stone that, you can trust his word forever, so it's just taking everything with a grain of salt, but I know it does affect the confidence of some people out there, especially people who've been through a lot and they're trying to learn and trying to become, better people, for themselves and live in a more healthier mindset. But I think a lot of the things within social media is more so just like a lot of judgment, a lot of preconceived notions. It's just ongoing, it's always continuous, and the more we feed into those things, the more we also contribute to that type of issue within people of their mental health. you know um so yeah, I just do my best to try to practice the mindfulness behind it, because I'm myself, I'm a advocate for mental health, and I think it's important that we try to do our best to at least give some feedback or some type of frame of perspective on how we see certain things out there within social media, and um just kind of give people an education on like certain stuff, like the perspectives are so broad. It's there's everybody has something. They have their ticks, they have you know their buttons can get pressed, and it's just, I don't know, for some people it's really yeah, it's like a reminder that you're not enough of something because you don't meet the highest standard up there. And I think that can really take an effect on some people's self-esteem. So I'm friends with people from all walks of life, and honored they trust me and share their stories with me of things they've been through. So um I'm not one to judge their path, and I'm not one to hold people to not being able to change, because I've seen changes within people and all they needed was a bit of understanding or encouragement, somebody there to really listen to their path without judgment and help them figure out like what's the solution, and trying to find a better way for myself to change the way how I think and my behaviors, so I don't continue making the same mistakes, or I can get out of this situation, because I'm doing something that's not conducive to my own health and well-being. So, that's kind of where I stand as an individual. I try to help people as much as I can, with some of the experience I had, going through things, going through my own addiction as well. So people have addictions and fixations on, anything from alcoholism to drugs to, thought patterns to sex, money, jobs, everything, you name it, addicted to um, not being productive, or certain types of negative mindsets or outlooks in life. So um, it's really important that, I try to get to the root of it and understand it, and kind of help them understand some things too about themselves and where those can sometimes come from. Sometimes it comes from, your environment, the way how people talk among each other. A lot of the judgment flows within the families too, friends. You know, there's a lot of like really harsh opinions out there. And I always say, don't judge people because you never know when the tables can be turned and you might end up experiencing that same, insight or feedback from other people. Or you might, have somebody close to you that's going through that same situation, somebody you really truly love and care about. And, it'll be like if you're judging them, you're placing judgment upon somebody that means so much to you, and you wish the best for them. So it's kind of like that, just practicing that empathy and learning how to try to encourage people through their journey, and not be so harsh with the words and the judgment, criticism, because I'm pretty sure we all do that to ourselves enough. And some people do it to the point to where they have a hard time, with taking accountability for things, because sometimes the reality and truth of things is too hard. We can be too hard on ourselves to where it's so painful that we just kind of disassociate from that, the issues and the problems and the pain. We just continue down that road, of kind of like self destruction. So it's important that we try to be a little bit more kinder to people, because we don't know, what's really going on through their mind, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, even physically. It can have an effect on, people as they go about life. And usually it's like that. When your heart's bleeding, it bleeds from the inside out, and then that shows on the outside, within your behaviors and things you do, what you surround yourself with, and the way how you're, I guess, loving yourself, your life, and it kind of shows. So we have to kind of be careful of that, and in a way we're all growing together and trying to understand one another, and yeah, just figure things out in life. So yeah, that's all I felt like sharing today, because I see a lot of it. And yeah, hopefully everybody kind of is a little bit more mindful, of the things they share on social media, because there's still a lot of bullying going on. I see a lot of that, especially within the young people, young generations, the youth. I care a lot about the kids still. I a lot of mental health issues going on with that area, especially the adults. Parents experiencing all kind of things going haywire. Judgment, and since a lot of this stuff had happened, chaos, throughout the past few years, families, everything, friends, it's all changing for people, and it's hitting them hard right now. So yeah, I think it's just important to be reminded to practice a little bit more kindness, and also be kind to yourself. So yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys for now. And you guys all take care and be good to each other. I'll be seeing you soon again.